What's up, guys? This is JamesBl0nde with OnRPG.com, and I got a chance to be part of the excitement in Austin, Texas this past weekend at the Red Bull Battlegrounds at Austin City Live at the Moody Theater. I got a chance to meet a lot of the players and casters, including djWheat, and here's what he had to say about the event so far.
Well, I mean, we've had an amazing 2 days. We're still in the thick of things right now, but day one we had 16 players basically battling it out here at Austin City Limits Live at the Moody Theater. And 2 players from each group advanced, and so now we're playing the championship bracket. We're now down to, I think, four players, so starting to get to the nitty-gritty, giving away over $41,000 in prizes. So far, Red Bull Battlegrounds has been pretty awesome.
Yeah. What happened to Stefano?
Man, you know, Stefano's been playing so good all tournament. He had a really, really amazing series with MC, and you know, sometimes it's hard to say, you know, did this player play bad? They didn't advance, but I'll tell you what, when 2 guys of that caliber are able to take it all the way to Game 5, it means that those 2 guys deserve to be there. You look at how many 2-0s and 2-1s sort of took place throughout the tournament, and when you have a best of 5 that goes down to the last, down to the last game, and MC brought it back, it's hard to say that, you know, Stefano played badly when it could have just been that MC played so great. And I think that these 2 having a little bit of history, they know each other's styles, and so they were just kind of like, innovating on the fly. And I think that MC just got kind of the better of that matchup. So Stefano, you know, he remains consistent. He's been getting top 8 results constantly around the world. And I don't expect that to let up anytime soon. I think that Stefano's just still growing as a player, learning how to deal with flying and traveling a lot, and of course, you know, making sure that you're staying mentally focused even after wins and losses. It's a tough thing. So, I think that Stefano still did remarkable this whole tournament. It was upsetting. I'm a Zerg fan myself, so not having any Zergs in the top 3, it's a little bit of a bummer. But I thought he did really well all weekend.
With Stefano out now, who do you think is going to come up?
I still have Squirtle winning it. Of course, it's going to depend on the semifinal, which is playing right now between Squirtle and Bomber, and those are 2 teammates, so that makes it an interesting matchup because they know one another and know their styles. They've met before at big competitions, but I'm going to have to say Squirtle to win it all.
I had a question while I was sitting up in the stands. I noticed that you have 2 streams going on, and during one stream, which is really loud to everybody in the audience, you're going on with another stream that's completely different. How do you stay focused and commentator that way?
It's you'd think it'd be hard. You're kind of looking on, because even when we started, I was like, it's like there are 1,000 speakers in here. Like, it is going to be really tough. But I'll tell you what, great production crew here made sure that all the levels are where they need to be, and it's just something that once that game starts, it's just kind of, you phase everything out around you. It's you, the other caster in the game, and the players. So, I guess I don't really even realize it's happening until, the game wraps up and I'm like, oh yeah, it's really loud in here. So, it just works out great.
That makes sense. So, also another question, with the jet lag.
Sure.
We have players coming from everywhere. How does that affect them? Say they're coming from, Korea or anywhere else and having to play here. How does that affect them?
Jet lag's a real thing. Anyone who's ever traveled internationally will tell you that it is tough to, just be able to recover from, changing or flip-flopping your times completely. But many of these guys, because we have a lot of international competitions, they're learning how to better deal with it. Some of it is, conditioning yourself before you even leave for your trip and start to, change your sleeping habits and your patterns a little bit before, so that when you get there, it's not such a drastic change. Others just kind of arrive early because they say that it usually takes you several days to actually adjust properly back to, from one time zone to the next. And, generally, it's a very, very difficult thing, but I think overall just a lot of rest, a lot of discipline, knowing, that it's time to go to bed now, so I can get up and practice. I mean, I just feel like you have to be a bit disciplined. A lot of times, that first time jet lag hits you, it can just rock your world. But, you know, the second and third time, you know what to expect. You can prepare for it. And, you know, as a result, I think people are getting better about getting more acclimated to adjusting to the time differences.
Absolutely. Some of the, we hear about practicing in Korea and practicing in North America. What are going to be some of the differences in the servers that, makes a big difference on the players?
Sure. So, you know, there are 3 regions, basically. You've got the North America, the Euro, and the Korean regions. And if a North American player plays on a Korean region, they're typically going to face better opponents, right? Because you're going to have a ton of Koreans that are playing on it. But like you mentioned, they're going to experience a little bit of latency. It's not terrible. It's something that, again, you can't expect to just try for the first time and then suddenly know how to deal with. A lot of these guys will play and grind out hundreds of games before they're like, I feel comfortable. I know, you know, that I might tell my units to do something and there might be a little delay in doing it. But believe it or not, between the Koreans and the Euros and the North American players, they play a lot of matches all over the different servers, and so they get quite used to dealing with what latency they're going to experience. So, you know, it's something that's there. It's just a part of the internet. The day that we can have, you know, zero latency gameplay between, you know, U.S. and Europe or Europe and Korea is going to be, you know, an amazing day, because everyone will be very happy that everyone can just compete at the same level. But it makes things interesting, right? Because if a North American player beats a Korean, you know, a lot of people can say, oh, well, they were playing on the server, it's really tough, but you have a live event, and suddenly that stipulation goes away, and then it's literally mano a mano. 2 players can't really complain about lag or any latency at all, and that's why these types of events are you know, held in such high regard.
Absolutely, absolutely. The final question here is just talking about, what do you think about the venue here in Austin?
The venue's amazing. I mean, I've done hundreds of events myself since, you know, 1999. Been in some really incredible venues, and this one is certainly the very, very top of my list. You know, for the spectators, it's amazing. I even had a chance today, not yesterday, but today I got a chance to go out and actually sit in the crowd and experience the great lighting and the sound. And, you know, every time a pylon gets destroyed or like a huge spell goes off, I mean, you can feel it, and that's awesome. I mean, a whole new meaning to sort of going inside the game and sort of experiencing that because it's awesome. So I think also the energy level in here is fantastic. I mean, the fans are totally into it. The players are giving great games as a result. So, I mean, the Moody Theater's been amazing. It's been nothing but awesome.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I really appreciate your time.
No problem.
And thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.